all on its own, because a watermelon wouldn't work, as we tried about 8 different watermelons. And at 4 in the morning, everything's hilarious. We tried a pillow. We ended up settling on a balloon. We tried a bunch of different balloons. But that's why I had to hold the balloon, is because, well, as we know, helium allows things to float to the ceiling. So we would have to pull my shirt down, and then I would have to cover it, because there was like the little button on the balloon would often like peek out. So we had to like work with that. And I remember they were trying to move fast, and I was like, guys, my balloon is not secure. And they're like, it's okay, Cherami. They thought it was a joke. I was like, no, legitimately, balloon is not secure. And so my shirt started moving, the balloon started moving, and halfway through the scene, you just see a balloon fly up, and I'm no longer pregnant. Like, it was like, okay, now how do we get the balloon down? Because there was no string. So it's just like, well, there's the balloon. We got to do this again. And I really wanted them to put that in the outtake reel, because it was like so funny to watch my face and everyone else's like, sorry. But yeah, I did not get to do the watermelon stunt. I really wanted to, where I got to pop the watermelon. I don't know if they're going to be mad that I'm like telling this, but whatever. I mean, like, it's out there. They put like pieces of watermelon in a baggie and put it on her stomach, and then the stunt woman literally just fell on the ground, caught herself, and the watermelon popped and went everywhere. So cool. But all I had to do was the before and after, and when I fell, I landed on a mat. She's the one who did the super intense, crazy, awesome stunt of like popping watermelon. It's really cool. But yeah, it's been all over Reddit, and it like never goes away, and I kind of don't want to, because I like people thinking that I steal watermelon, because I mean, that's a useless thing to steal. Why not? Although I was with a friend, and this was actually a pretty cool thing when I was at, I think I was at like Target, and I overheard somebody, and they were like, yeah, we should take a watermelon and be like that girl in that video where she like takes the watermelon. And I was like, I'm a girl with a watermelon! You don't even know, but that's me! This is awesome. I've inspired people to want to steal watermelon. That was not the intention. Guys, just buy the watermelon. It's maybe like $2. It's not worth it. But yeah, it was a really fun scene. I think it was more fun at 4 a.m. because Shane and I just laughed the entire time. Like they were telling us, can you guys keep it together? And I would say no, again. Yes?
What's it been like recording for Sailor Venus?
Amazing. I mean, that entire process has been such a surreal experience. I actually found out that I got a call back for Sailor Moon when I was in Dallas for my wedding and recording for Funimation, and they said, can you come back in and record and meet the production team for Sailor Moon, and we'll have you audition for a couple characters. And I was like, I can't. This sucks. I've now lost the opportunity to audition for Sailor Moon. And they said, no, why don't you just send us an audition from the studio that you're at. Just don't tell them you're working on, that it's for Sailor Moon. So I bribed one of the engineers with a donut if I got the job. And
what kind of donut?
He didn't care. He was just like, I'll do this, but if you get the job, I want a donut. And I was like, deal. So I went in, and what's tricky about saying that you're auditioning for Sailor Moon, but it's not Sailor Moon, is hard when one of the characters you're auditioning for is Usagi, and she does a Sailor Moon call-out. And then when you're auditioning for the other characters, they say Sailor Venus, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter. Like, what are you going to be like, oh, by the way, this is not Sailor Moon. I know it sounds like it, but it's not. Which is what I did. I told the director, he goes, is this Sailor Moon? I go, I know, I can see how you might get that. I understand why you might get that crazy notion. But actually, it's for a show that they really love Sailor Moon, and so they want us to use Sailor Moon lines to audition with, but it's not for Sailor Moon. That show already has been dubbed. So he was like, yeah, I just heard somebody was redubbing it. I was like, well, sir, that is not what this is for. So just big fans of Sailor Moon here that I'm auditioning for, not actually for Sailor Moon. So a week or so later, I was driving to the rehearsal dinner for my wedding, and I get an email, and they were like, you are in the final consideration of the new cast for Sailor Moon. You have to agree to be at Sailor Moon Day. You have to agree to be available for recording. You have to agree, and there was like one other thing, and I was like, agreed for all of the above. What do I do now? And she emailed me back. She was like, great, we'll contact you for scheduling. And I was like, wait, so I got it? This is weird. Okay. And so I emailed her back. I was like, just to clarify, am I cast? And she was like, yeah, congratulations, you're part of Sailor Moon. And I was like, cool. She was like, and then says me on their email, she's like, don't tell anyone. And I was like, oh man, I'm getting married and I'm like, I can't tell anybody. So it was very awkward because everyone was like, hey, it's your wedding, are you excited? I'm like, I'm super excited and I also got some other exciting news. What is it? I can't tell you. Why? Well, because I signed an NDA and they'll take away the exciting news if you know, because I don't trust you with secrets, wedding guests. When I went in for the first session, I did not know who I was playing. I did not actually get called back for Sailor Venus, but when they heard my Luna audition and my Usagi audition, and I think I auditioned for one other character, they sent it to the creative team in Japan, and they heard, like, she said 2 seconds of your audition, and they were like, that's Sailor Venus. And, like, she was like, they all signed off immediately on you, and that was it, based on your other audition. And I was like, well, that's cool. So I went in, and all I had to do for my first session as Sailor Venus was just say, Sailor V, and for one of the eye catch things, because as we know, Sailor Venus doesn't show up until a little bit later. So I played a couple random girls, because I had told people, I'm like, all I want to do, I would love to work on Sailor Moon at some point, even if it's like random girl with hair bow that wants to get a boyfriend. Like, I would love to do that. And so the director was like, I heard in a panel that you wanted to be a random girl with a hair bow who's obsessed and wants to get a boyfriend. And I was like, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm Sailor Venus, so she has a hair bow. That's cool. And he was like, well, you're going to get to do both. I was like, sir, you are just the gift that keeps on giving. What are you, a magical wizard of animation? Like, this is crazy. So I got to do a couple random characters, and I remember being terrified to do Sailor Venus because I'm like, this is so surreal. I watched the show. This is such an important series for so many people, including myself. I don't want to let anybody down. The last thing I want is for people to be like, she's killed my childhood. Because Twitter is a very angry place for things like that are said. And so I was like, I don't want to deal with that. And the director was like, get out of your head. Just know the creator of Sailor Moon, she signed off on you. She said, this is who I want. And the production team was like, yeah, without a doubt, that's the girl. And they're like, if that doesn't inspire confidence in you, nothing's going to. And I was like, wait, she said? They're like, yeah. I was like, oh, she gave me the blessing. Twitter can chill. I just won't read it. But I still read it, and I still feel bad. But like for the most part, I'm like, whatever. I'm playing Sailor Moon, and it's going to be a different take. Everybody's going to sound different. But I really have loved working on the series. And I'm wearing more orange than I ever have in my life. So that's good. Yes.
How did you come up with the idea? Who came up with the idea with the Sword Art Online radio broadcasts when season 2 was airing?
That was the production team. That was Speedaway and the rest of the Aniplex team. We have way too much fun with those. I think after they came up with the idea and had us come in for the first one with Ben, they realized this was a bad idea. They should never do it again. And then they kept doing it again.
And
they have like for any other live broadcast where they have a 30-second delay if anybody says something horrible. They have like a 5-second delay, and oftentimes they just hold the button down, and they're like, whatever, we're just going to have to edit it. They have made so many crazy commentary, so they do that a lot.
It's because I noticed something like that because on the Remote Rosario, I had the last part of the broadcast on CD.
Yeah.
Which is really awesome that Aniplex would do that.
It was really, really fun.
Really awesome of them.
We had a blast. I hope we get to do more of those. Yes.
For your voice acting role for Kumara Naegi from Danganronpa, I noticed like towards like as the game progressed that your voice from like being like the really like frightened, shy, bubbly girl, it ended up becoming like more like kind of serious.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to have like a very noticeable shift with Kumara's voice?
Well, I talked to the director, and when we first started working on the process, he had said, well, she's been trapped in this room for so long, she really doesn't know anything about the world, and she kept saying, I'm just a normal high school girl, like, I can't handle this, why is this happening to me? And then as I told them, I was like, she keeps saying I'm just a normal high school girl, I can't handle this, but I kind of want to, like, slap her sometimes and say, you are handling it. You've handled all of these other situations. And I said, after all the things that